Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Discriminating Gamer and another unboxing video. Alright, today we have People Power, a game designed by Kenneth T, published by GMT Games. Now, this is another coin game. Volume looks like 11. Insurgency in the Philippines, 1981 to 1986. Let's look on the back. Let's see what we have here. Okay, so we got 1 to 3 players, 2 to 3 hours on this one, ages 14 and up. Complexity is right about in the middle. It's about a 5. Okay, and the solitaire sustainability looks like we're at a 9. Okay, okay, wow, you know, I just don't even know what to say about coin games anymore. I've never played them until earlier this year, and I've absolutely, totally loved them. I've played 2-player versions. I've played 3-player, 1 to 3 player. I think it was Vijaya Nagara, if I remember right. That was fantastic. Cuba Libre we played not too long ago, 4-player. Oh, so good. So, People Power, coin game. Let's get this thing. Why'd I flip it? Let's get this thing opened up and let's see what's inside of here, man. That's what you guys are here for. You're not here to listen to me flap my lips around. All right. Okay, now this is a nice, nice thick box. And I will say the coin games that I've played so far, the production quality has just been outstanding. And these boxes are so thick and heavy. All right, let's see if we can get this thing open. There we go. Okay, so once we get it open, let's see what we have. We're going to start off with a playbook. Looks like page 44. There's 44 plus pages, so a quick start guide is going to be for returning coin players on 44. So the nice thing about coin games, and this is what I really love about them, is once you've actually played one, it's easy to get into the rest of the coin games because they have kind of that same, you just need to know what differences they made. So it's just, that's the beauty thing, and they all play so differently. That's just what's totally cool about them. All right, so let's see what we have here. Yeah, so we have our standard scenario set up. All right, and it looks like we've got a nice little page for that right there. Now, in typical coin fashion, this is some nice small print, but it looks like there's some good detailed drawings and pictures on here. So just to kind of help on how things are going to work. And, you know, and this may just be me, but this actually looks like a little bit more examples than what I'm used to seeing in a coin game rulebook. And so I'm actually okay with that. It seems like the first few times I played some coin games, there was just a lot of questions. So actually, what do we back this up a little bit? Okay, end of the first election round, so we're going to end up there. And then it looks like we're just going to go into some history and stuff. Looks like this is the people path. This is the playbook. So, yeah, event text, tips, background. Looks like we're going to talk about some of the different cards. The amount of information and detail they give you in these games is just absolutely outstanding. Just so much stuff. Man, you can just go read up on all the background on all these cards. Looks like how to play them. Or not how to play them, but the rules for them. Looks like little tips if they may have some. Just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Okay, and the timeline, the People Power Revolution. Tell you what, the folks at GMT and the designers for these games, boy, they do their homework and their research. Okay, now we got rules of play. Looks like this is a 16-page book, and it looks like we're going to get, oh, no, that's a different book. I was thinking we were going to get 2 of the same. Okay, so the back of this one, available forces, chart, okay. And what are we going to get here? Okay, so this is going to be just our regular rule book. Okay. Sequence of play. Now this is what I'm more used to looking at. But combine this with that other playbook, and I think this is going to be easy to learn. Now look, keywords and terms. There, holy criminy. There is a lot of keywords and terms there. All right. And there you go. That is the rules of play. Now, what do we have here? Card-based non-player rules and reference book. Okay. And this one here is going to be super huge. This one here is 27 pages on its own. Golden rules. It's almost like this is like the encyclopedia of the rules. It's like, go to the rules of play if you want to learn how to play, but then if you really want to learn how to play, come here. Okay. Event references. Yeah, there is so much detail that they give you in these games. Oh, and just so much. Yeah, if you've never played a coin game, and I highly recommend them. It took me a long time. I was always super intimidated by them, but then when I finally played one for the first time, and the first game, it took us a little bit, but boy, I'll tell you what. Once we got through that first game, it was so worth it. It is absolutely worth it. All right, so let's take a look at what we got. Looks like they kind of just need an extra punch board. Okay, so there's your front and back of those tokens. Let's see, looks like we got a government board. Here's your NPA board. Okay. The reformers. Looks like your 3 factions that you're going to be playing. All right, and what do we have here? Non-player aid card. Okay, so here's the Bonefactio. So this is going to be, it looks like your different actions. Move priorities. Okay, well, let's see if I can keep that on the screen. Whew. I start looking at everything. Let's open that back up again. I start looking at everything and I just get too excited myself that I kind of forget that I need to keep it on the camera. All right, and here's the reformers. Okay, yeah, so here's your operation actions, here's your special abilities. Now here's the victory conditions for everybody, so you can always see on your board, you can always see what everybody's victory conditions are going to be. Right, here's all the NPA, here's your governments, what all their actions. You know, I like how they do this. I mean, you got yours, but you can always go look and see what they have too. And then when it comes to the election round, all right, you got all your rules for your election round. All right, so you're going to get 3 of those. So every player is going to get their own board. Gain their own board, get their own board. All right, now let's see how big the actual player board is. All right, so it looks like it is just a one-sided board. And, okay, let's see if we can get this in the screen. So, okay, I'll kind of show you, angle a little bit so you can see what the top is. So you got your map key right here. Looks like you got a government win section. Here's your NPA win, reformers win. Okay, your election card deck, overflow, and then, of course, all your different locations. All right, down here in the bottom, this is basically going to be your sequence of play. Looks like here's your actions, where your actions are going to go. Okay, victory, newsmaker, resource, support, redeploy. This is for your game in, it looks like. All right. Okay, that looks good. Let's slide that over to the side. All right, now what do we have in the box? 3 dice. Okay. All right, those perfectly fine dice. Nice. See, they got the rounded corners, not stiff on the corners, not the dead square corners. I like them. They get a little more roll in my book. Okay, wooden bits. And these are silk screened and they're not stickered. Oh, thank you, GMT. All right, so we're gonna have all our white and black pawns, definitely, because those, you can use those for where you're doing your actions and stuff like that. But as you can see, so a lot of all the wood tokens are gonna look about the same. They're just gonna have the different factions on them. So we're gonna have a whole, there we go. We're gonna have a whole stack of all of just your regular wood discs with the different faction symbols on them. I don't want to bore you to death with all those, but they look good. Okay, same with all of these ones here. Okay, you're gonna have your factions. They're always face down, so you never know what's there until they do their actions. Then they flip them over. Okay, then you know where everybody's at. Okay, and coin game. This is the meat of the game. Let's see if we can get a little opening on this. Okay, because building this deck and going through this deck and all the different events in these cards, that is the main part of this game. All right, so what do we have here? Okay, so it looks like we're going to have the reformers, the NPAs. Okay, so let's get these off to the side. Let's take a look at what these are. These look like they are, so like here's your recruit action, available activists. So it looks like for a campaign. Is this for, so it looks like for the 1984. So it looks like these might be for some campaign cards. Okay. Do these have a campaign on the back? No, I don't know. It's possible. Oh, you know what? I bet these are, because I know you can. It's a 1 to 3 player game, and if you play with less than 3, then I'll bet you anything these are the cards you're going to use for what that particular faction that is not actually in the game and is being run by AI. So that's, I bet you what these are all for. That's going to be my guess. I could dig through the rule book and I could probably figure it out, but yeah. So this is going to be how they're going to do their turns. Okay. Now, what do we have here? We got Power to the People. So we got Age of Desperation, or Acts of Desperation. I'm just looking on the back. We got different colors. I'm not sure exactly how the different colors are going to affect. You know what I am going to flip through, though, is to this point, because these are the different events. Okay, so let's take a look at the events. All right, see if we can get that into focus. All right, if there's any of these that you want to look at in a little more detail, you can go ahead and pause them. I'll try to hold for a second. I like how they have actual pictures on these. I'll try to keep my fat thumb out of the way. Here, we'll move my thumb up here. Man, my light, I don't know what I did. Okay, see if I can keep the glare off them for you guys as well. Okay. And, you know, these events in a coin game are so important. Because, I mean, when it's your turn, you're like, man, there's a event there. It's absolutely horrible for me to do. But I'll tell you what, if my opponent gets that event, I am in so much trouble that sometimes you just have to play that event just to keep them from playing it. I mean, that's the beauty about this game, is when to play these cards, when not to play these cards. You know, when to do just an operation action, when to do an operation and a special ability. Do you want to prevent your opponents from doing different things? You know, you have to pay attention to what your opponent's doing. You need to pay attention to where they're at towards their victory line. And there's just, you know, there's so much to this game. And here's your election cards, okay? For your different elections you can have during the game. But the cool thing about it, there's a lot to the game. And it seems like there's a lot, or it seems like it's almost too much, but it's really not that bad. And that's the cool thing about it. I mean, I was, like I said, I was so intimidated first time I played a coin game. And even honestly, even the second time I played a coin game, it was the same way. Because I think the first coin game I ever played was a 2-player only game. It was a war game. The name, I can't remember it right now, but it was so good. And then I played a 3-player and then went into Cuba Libre, and oh, really, really good. So I've never played with the bots, so I don't know how they are with those. I've only played a full player count, and I don't know. For me, for a coin game, I think that's the way they should be played. I don't know if I would want to play a coin game and not have the full player count. So, all right. Well, there you go. That is all of the cards. That is all of the wooden discs. That is all of the player boards and all of the tokens. So let's see how all this is going to go back in the box. We just put those right there. We'll put the wood chunky bits right down there. Now I know these tokens, and that's the one thing I didn't try, is how are they going to punch? Those things are, you know, it's a GMT game. I've never had a GMT game not punch good. They're going to punch just fine. I'm going to go through after the fact, and I'm going to punch these out, and I'm going to put them in some Ziploc bags. So they're not just going to float around there, so don't worry about it. Some people might, but it's all going to fit in that box. We're going to lose that one punch board, so that's actually going to lower this just a couple millimeters, but everything fits in the box. Everything fits nice and tight. All right, and that is People Power, Insurgents in the Philippines, 1981 to 1986. Coin game by GMT. All right, please leave any comments that you have down below, and as always, thank you for watching.
Please somebody help me on my feet again, and I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know where I've been.
No, there is nothing more important than the people. Ah! Sean! Why?
You knew what I was when you asked me to review board games with you.
Do you want to go review a board game right now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.